Hello, hello, and welcome back, everyone, to the United States Cup B stream, round of 16. Here for our second match. Oh, what is Fishy doing? Here for our second match of the night with me and Pigeon commentating on the B stream. We have New Hampshire versus Tennessee. Fishy doing whatever they're doing right now really threw me off.
Yeah, Fishy is. Let's just say they're drawing art right now. If you aren't familiar with Fishy from the, I guess I can't say that. But it's the spam channel in the Discord server. We get monthly drawing updates from them, and it's pretty good art. Where did the lights go? I didn't know that was possible. You take your cursor off of the screen with flashlight? It takes away the light? Okay.
All the lights off. This is a cool warm-up.
15 score. I've never actually seen the score sit at a single number with so many misses in with score v2, but yeah, okay, this is warm-ups again. It doesn't really matter.
We're just hanging out.
Yeah, we're just chilling, having fun. This is going to be a losers bracket match between these two teams. Tennessee in losers bracket is pretty odd. Definitely not the team that was supposed to lose on paper in that round of 32. I believe they went against Georgia, which is a team that is definitely not supposed to be as low of a seed as they are if this wasn't based off BWS. And they struggled pretty hard against that Georgia team. I think it was like 5-1 last week. Tennessee is, let me see, I think they're seed 9? Yeah, seed 9. Going against New Hampshire, seed 25. However, interesting, being such a higher seed. Of course, 25 is still on the lower end, but they only have 4 players, and from what I have gathered information-wise, pretty much it's just going to be 3 players, and that's more than likely just going to be Zephyr, Co, What Skill, and Shade. Of course, Fishy is on the team as well, and they are present, but I'm not sure if we'll be seeing them play any of the maps. They didn't seem too confident in themselves earlier, but I'm honestly, I want to see this New Hampshire team do well. It's always a fun time when an underdog is able to overcome the odds. But yeah, that being said, Zephyrco is one of the only players I'm really familiar with on this New Hampshire team. Definitely a solid tourney player. What Skill is higher ranked, but I'm not too familiar with them or Shade, so don't really know what to make of this team. Whereas on the side of Tennessee, you've got players like Coda, Mindjal Liss, who is Firyu. So I'm going to be referring to them as Firyu because that's just not a good name change, in my opinion. And then Dempsey, Ninja, Zatako, and Suicune 3. So being such a higher seed knocked down into this lower bracket immediately. What is this warm up?
Both teams have picked low approach rate warm-ups, and that's kind of awesome.
I'm for it, but oh goodness. Yeah, this Tennessee roster is pretty scary. Even just like regardless of seeding wise, you take away the fact that this is like a high seed versus low seed in the lower bracket, you're already at a disadvantage being down those 2 extra players you are allotted to make up a team in USC. You need at least 4 players to even qualify for having a team, and New Hampshire has just 4. It's tough not being able to swap out some of these players on different skill sets as needed.
Yeah, and I do have that skill set distribution for you. As Zephyrco responded to my message, how exciting! So,
Yeah.
What Skill is going to be Permalobby, because he's the guy, I guess, for this New Hampshire team. Fishy is going to be in for speed and skill cap. Shade is going to be in for consistency and hidden, and Zephyr is going to be in for hard rock and aim. So
Fishy
pretty
is,
much
actually here for the artwork. They were drawing figures. Sorry, go ahead. I'm just having fun here with these warm-ups.
And I'm pretty interested to see some of these seeding switch-ups here. We did see the people who beat Tennessee here get the tied largest seed upset in USC history just a number of minutes ago, taking out the seed 8. The seed 8 Carolina, tying up with seed upsets such as Iowa beating the number 2 seed Ohio and Oklahoma beating the number 12 seed Hawaii in previous years. If New Hampshire wins this match, they will also tie that record. It is the same amount of seed difference.
Yeah, it's really crazy. Like, it can't really stress this enough, just how good that Georgia roster is, despite the seed placement that they were given. They are definitely performing well above expectations, and a very scary team. As you said, they did just win their match against that seed number 8 Carolina. It was a much closer match from what the few bits that I was able to tune in and watch than Georgia's match against Tennessee last week. But yeah, definitely not. I mean, not too surprised that they're doing as well as they are, but definitely a strong team considering they're like I don't know, having them at seed 24 with Stacker Joe, Razor Fruit, and OO Max is like criminal.
Yeah, it's
But
just kind of a top-heavy rank team. But in terms of tournament prowess, Axolotl, OMax, very, very strong 3K players. Maybe some of the best consistency players playing tournaments right now. Um, and warm-up's over. Hopping into rolls, unfortunately, New Hampshire rolling that 12. Gonna be giving Tennessee the second pick option.
Yeah, Tennessee going for the second pick it's fine. We've seen teams that pretty much, I think, doing anything, honestly, as long as you have some direction with it, which these teams, I imagine, do. Picking like first, second pick, for second ban, it doesn't matter too much. But we are going to be seeing the second ban choice from New Hampshire, and Hidden 1 will be the ban from Tennessee. It is the stream tapping hidden map. With DT3 getting banned from New Hampshire, that is pretty much, I think, been banned every single match.
Almost.
I could be wrong. I haven't looked, but from the many matches that I have seen, it's either been straight up banned or just not picked, and yeah, there's a reason. It's hard. It's probably the hardest map in the entire pool, like bar none.
Yeah, it's been banned out about half of the times, but yeah, not picked very often. And New Hampshire going to be, or was it Tennessee that banned it out? I missed that. Tennessee was hidden 1, New Hampshire.
Tennessee banned hidden.
Okay, and that makes a lot of sense. On this Tennessee roster, the mechanics and reading players don't really coincide. So much distance. What's the word? So much density in that hidden 1 map. Gonna be a bit of a hardship for Tennessee, tapping players on the other side, more mechanics focused, as shown. New Hampshire picking Fremont 2 here.
Yeah, interesting first pick. It's not the safest pick, but it's not risky either. You know, I feel like we're going to be seeing Fremont 3 picked as well from this New Hampshire team. Those are kind of like the two more or less gimme picks, where it's kind of just like just a raw consistency check. This one, of course, being slightly on the faster side, but it doesn't really play into the difficulty of it too much. There's no like long streams per se. It's mostly just aim. GLHF's coming out here, as we are going to be getting into the first map of this match between New Hampshire, Tennessee, losers bracket of the United States Cup 2024. Zephyrco, Lyceronis, and Shade for the side of New Hampshire. Suicune, Zetiko, and Ninja will be playing for Tennessee. No overmodding.
Yeah, and in terms of modded players, making a lot of sense here. What skill going to be on the hard rock on this more mechanics focused pick? Shade hidden also making plenty of sense, and trading breaks on both of these teams. Was what skill having a bit of a hard time on the hard rock there, but scores are going to be swapping back and forth as him and Zataku find breaks, as well as Firyu in the mix.
Yeah, despite all the misses, the score lead's still just barely in favor of New Hampshire, simply because of the accuracy advantage from two players on the side of New Hampshire, Shade and Zephyrco. This is one of the maps that's on slightly longer side. Lots of room for either team to swing the score advantage, with a miss from Lyceronis yet again. Will eventually start to swing over to Tennessee. And yeah, just struggling to maintain any form of combo from Lyceronis is definitely tough to watch. But I mean, playing hard rock on this map especially is I feel like one of the harder mods from players, and an unfortunate drop from Zephyrico will mean that there's only one remaining FC for the side of New Hampshire, and still one FC on the side of Tennessee, but those early misses have built back up their combo. I say that, but Ninja misses on like nothing.
Yeah, the hardest
Luceronis?
reverse slider in the game. Like, it's just such an awkward angle, unfortunately. Both the hard arc plays being struck out there. S rank for Zephyr. Shade is going to be holding onto all the combo there, still holding onto their FC, matched by Suikun's hidden FC as well, matching accuracies as well. A little bit of twinning happening on opposite teams here as Zutako keeping the combo advantage on his recovery.
Really struggling here on the side of New Hampshire. Suikun will find a few chain misses here, and so does the Taco. That does mean that New Hampshire has this chance to bring back the score difference, so long as Shade is able to hold on.
Yeah, and some of the biggest jumps in the map are going to be in this section. He luckily was able to hit it. Big kick sliders and all good on the side of New Hampshire thus far as they close up this lead. Only 30k and shrinking. Zephyr in a little bit of a recovery. His own wit skills still struggling with these slider breaks, but it does flicker over. And so long as Shade holds on to this FC, it will be all but certain that New Hampshire can bring their first pick home.
And not only the FC, but they need to hold on to the supporting combo in Zephyr as expecting.
Oh no. My god.
Yeah, the miss from Shade there is pretty bad for New Hampshire here, as that Spoiled is going to just shift right back over. I was going to say, Luceronis dropping their combo doesn't really matter too much, but yeah, that miss from Shade, it will spell almost certain doom unless we see an absolute disaster on the side of Tennessee, but I don't think we will be seeing that.
Yeah, as soon as you mentioned the two that needed to hold, both of them going to be finding the double slider break. Unfortunately, Tennessee will be finding the first break point against New Hampshire on New Hampshire's first pick, and that second pick method coming to fruition here for them as we see almost triple 600k. Zutako just a little bit behind, but just in terms of team death here, this would not have been close if not for the Shade pop off. All three players on the Tennessee side being able to get over 100k score on the other two players on New Hampshire. Just that consistency for Tennessee coming through.
Yeah, definitely unfortunate for New Hampshire. Zephyrico, despite the 659 combo, it was only slider breaks from them. It's still putting up almost 500k, and Shade, just really doing all that they could to keep New Hampshire's head above the water. But yeah, Caster Curse or not, it was very unfortunate timing, and that does mean the point will go over to Tennessee. As you said, first break point already on the board, and now we are going to see where Tennessee wants to take this. I imagine we'll see them kind of abuse the tapping maps in this pool, as there are quite a plenty. And yeah, we're going to be going right into double time 2. If you're not familiar with this pool, I've set up in previous matches, and you're about to see, I imagine we'll be also seeing Double Time 1 eventually, but all 3 of the Double Time maps combined add up to like 3 minutes and 20-some seconds of playtime. This one being, and I keep getting it wrong, so I'm going to double check. This one being 58 seconds long. The other remaining one that wasn't banned out in DT1 is 1 minute and 15 seconds long. So any misses will pretty much decide the fate of this map.
Yeah, and we are going to be seeing the one-player roster switch here. Zephyr going to be swapping for Fishy, making plenty of sense. Fishy being the skill cap player, and this being the skill cap map of choice. More of a tapping focus, a little bit of aim in here as well on the awkward side, a kind of old style 10.3 coming through for Tennessee, and this triple roster, Firyu, Dempsey, and I'm going to check the name of that third player because I'm not saying my Angel
Oh.
Ninja.
It's just Ninja.
Oh, it is Ninja? Wait, what?
I mean, I'm not sure, but I've been hearing other people say that as well. Could be wrong.
That's pretty funny.
If it is wrong, feel free to correct us. We're not trying to mispronounce anybody's names on purpose. And yeah, getting into this map, it's already quarter way through, and we see a very early miss from Fishy. Very unfortunate. Also struggling to hold on to decent AC, and the score lead is already climbed about 100k, now 200k for Tennessee. Some more quick misses from Fishy, Shade, and now a full wipe on the side of pretty much everybody. This map is taking many victims, only remaining player left. Do I dare say? No, I don't.
Wow.
No, I don't. Tennessee wins this pick.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But second pick on the board for them, keeping up the early hot streak and a 2 million team score to boot. Just a little bit consistency dipped, a little bit third player dips. New Hampshire with the 4-man roster gonna be having some struggles. But I mean, numbers wise, not too terrible. Single digit miscount for everybody, only a couple 3 misses for New Hampshire. Just this map is so short that 3 misses is the equivalent of like 15 on a longer map.
Yeah. You know, any miss is like you just multiply it by like 5, and that's kind of how short maps go in a tournament environment. With longer maps, you have a lot more room for comebacks, but I mean, as we just saw, like even just that first miss meant that Tennessee gained like a very fast 100k lead within seconds. So, will be Tennessee winning their own pick, and New Hampshire has a chance to potentially put one up on the board. I'd love to see them continue trying to pick some of the gimmick stuff, but they're gonna go with DT1 here. Not sure about this one coming right out of that DT2 performance, but
See the vision. What skill very high, his rank is due to his skill on these DT aim picks. Shade put up a pretty solid backing score, and if both of those players perform, Fishy gets a solid enough backup score as well. Could perhaps do some damage. This one not being so much of a tap gap map, not as much of a rhythm focus here, just a handful of 300 bursts, which I'm sure they are used to due to their farm skill sets.
Yeah, I can't read 10.3 to save my life, so practicing this map myself, I really couldn't tell if the difficulty came in the tapping or the aim, but yeah, I think it's much more likely just in the aim. That being said, it is still like 300 BPM, and there are some bursts that are slightly longer than like 7 notes, I think. And at 300 BPM, it's still pretty easy to miss on one of those bursts. So again, this one being DT in this round of 16, a short map, not as short. In fact, it's like what, a third longer than the last one. Last one was 58 seconds. This one is a minute and 15. Huge difference.
Gains. Huge gains.
Yeah.
We take those.
Yeah. We are getting into this third pick here. Pretty much same rosters for the most part. And that's an early drop from Shade. No, it's not. That was Bancho.
Oh.
Feint.
Just the hack advantage? Yeah,
Yeah,
was
that was
whoa, I've
Bancho.
never seen Bancho feint. I've only seen it feint slider breaks. I've never seen it feint a miss. Pretty
It
interesting.
happens. You tend to see Bancho do a lot of silly things in tournament time. That, however, was a real miss. And yeah, we're already halfway through the map.
And it
Still
is
room
not
for
true.
comeback, but not much. And yeah, no, it's climbing. Dempsey does find the miss.
Ooh.
There is more time left in the map. There's like a few more break sections though, but that's a start. Fans of New Hampshire,
I do
we
think
love to
just
see that miss.
due to the accuracies though, I do think they'd need to see at least one more break off the side of this Tennessee team holding on to marginally higher accuracies despite Fishy's combo. I'm not gonna say Lizard, he's doing the whole time. But what skill, unfortunately that slider break will seal it now. And Fishy closing out the 88% FC. A strong
Yeah,
score from that New Hampshire side. Just Tennessee a bit more well-rounded in this department and closing out the double FC of their own, the 97 and the 95. That two miss from Dempsey being the outlier.
definitely a different story on this one, despite still being a point for Tennessee. Compared to that DT2 that we just saw right before this. New Hampshire, some of the players that we actually see FCing or putting up almost FCs in this pick, they didn't do too well in the previous one, and yeah, kind of unfortunate to see that. You really have to wonder how maybe the match, how their performance during the match differed from their performances in practice. But yeah, nice scores despite still losing that pick, regardless from that New Hampshire team. I think it was Fishy and Liceronis, and I didn't see Shade's score good
Uh,
enough before it went away, but
Shade closed out with a 3 miss 600k, but
yeah,
plenty
yeah.
fine on the higher end. This is an interesting pick from the Tennessee side. It does make sense in practice. You do have Kota, Suiku, and Zatako, and you don't really have a third gimmick player on this New Hampshire side. What skill pretty much known purely for his mechanics. Zephyr and Shades should do a fine job, but I worry for that depth coming into play once again. Tennessee looking very strong on a algorithm pick such as this.
Yeah, not the worst pick, but I'm really kind of surprised to see this one come out versus like Nomad 1 specifically. I feel like Tennessee does a lot better on something like Nomad 1 in practice than maybe this. Not saying that this won't go well for them, but feels a bit more risky picking this than something like the Nomad one.
Maybe, yeah, especially with how it keeps up such a high difficulty for such a long time, that Nomad one. Consistency maybe being something that the New Hampshire side lacks, just in comparison. But we are seeing this pick come to their side in the beginning, as all three players on the New Hampshire side end up breaking in this first quarter.
Yeah, it doesn't always matter picking like what you think you should always win on, but rather sometimes it's just as good of an option to just kind of pick the thing that you think the enemy team is not going to do well on. And if you are Tennessee here, that's definitely the case. Of course, the drop combo from Zatako doesn't really do anything with all of the players on New Hampshire struggling to really put much of anything together.
Yeah, and in terms of carry performances, we couldn't gonna be breaking that second FC, but Coda 99% with just a sliver of map remaining, likely to close this one out for his team. And Oh, that's unfortunate. But he 1v3s in the process of getting that high score. Very tricky ending. No shame in a couple breaks here as it kind of spikes a bit. But there we go. The 1v3 coming out for Coda, and the match point for Tennessee here, 4-0 in our first 4.
Yeah. It is match point as he said, but the one thing that New Hampshire has going for them at the very least is it's their pick, but it's really given how this match is going and given what's left in the pool, I don't really know if New Hampshire can put together this reverse sweep against this Tennessee team. Just kind of unfortunate. Tennessee losing in round of 32 really just kind of threw a wrench in the whole system. New Hampshire, regardless of Tennessee losing, they would have had to have played against Georgia, which it's its whole other kind of difficult match. But yeah, having to go against a seed 9 in lower bracket round 1 is not the best feeling.
Yeah.
Are gonna go with the safest pick in free mod 3. Definitely kind of something that you gotta just throw out there as a last attempt at trying to put something together, something on the board.
Yeah, and this does make a lot of sense. New Hampshire with Shade on Hidden, Zephyr on No Mod, What Skill on the Hard Rock, all specialists of their own mods, making quite the use of it with a smaller roster. Keep them all on their respective skill sets and a big aim map. All these players pretty serviceable on aim. Shouldn't be a pretty simple showing for them. But Tennessee looking to throw a wrench in their plans. Fear you going to be filling up the Hard Rock on Tennessee, I would imagine. And gonna be seeing if Tennessee could finish this one 5-0 or if New Hampshire can put their point on the board.
Yeah, I'm honestly I'm like rooting for New Hampshire here. As trying to be unbiased as I can, I really do just want to see this team put up at least 1 point. It's like the least that you could hope for here in this matchup. But have to see going into this potential final pick here. This is basically just your average farm map. Pretty sure this is like a 6-digit farm or maybe like 5-digit farm.
It's a bit too long to be 6-digit farm. Maybe like mid 5-digit farm. It's 6.8 stars despite everything about it. But a couple breaks coming up for the New Hampshire side, traded by Suicune and Firyu. It is Shade versus Coda. No Mod versus Hidden going to be a mild advantage to the New Hampshire side combo-wise until we see our final breaks, or whether or not we see FCs, and Shade is going to be going down. It's just Coda, and unfortunately no recovery combos on that New Hampshire side.
It's not over yet. Definitely looking grim here, especially with these consequent misses that we keep seeing from New Hampshire. But there is wiggle room here if some of these bigger combos on the side of Tennessee can end up going down. There's a chance. Mindless List being the first to drop in Coda is the final big FC. Of course, Suicune still has that 400 combo, but there is chance for New Hampshire. Just need to hold on.
Yeah, Firyu continuing to break here, and the combined combo does kind of outscale Suicune here. Zephyr considering the break. They need Suicune to break, and they need to hold on to their FCs. Just a sliver of map remaining as Coda and Firyu continue to find their handful of breaks, and Suicune goes down. Zephyr trades, but that's not the big one. They have 50k of a score lead to come back from in these final seconds. All of them need to hold, and it does switch over. A couple big breaks, but that will be it.
They get their first
it's
not
point.
over yet.
Well, I mean,
Okay, yeah. It's scary. That was a long spinner. I honestly wasn't sure. But yeah, New Hampshire. They are able to put up a point on the board. This is rejoice if you are a New Hampshire fan. Um, because it's not over yet. Definitely what they needed here, I think, if not just for their morale, more than anything, to have gotten that point. And well done. Uh, it's still, they still need to win 3 more and tiebreaker, but this is the start. This is the start of the dream. Uh, what is it? It's like a Cinderella story or something. I don't remember. There's something. I'm gonna sound stupid trying to think of it. Help me out here, please.
it's Cinderella story.
Is it? Okay.
You're correct.
Okay.
I am curious about this Tennessee pick. It is not like, oh my god, that was correct. It is not like super crazy. Like it's a different skill set. It's snap alt. It's a little bit like on the control-y side with these longer high velocity sliders, but also it's a free mod pick, and we've already established these players' strengths with their mod of choice. So continuing to pick into that after that was both of New Hampshire's other picks. Curious.
Yeah, I don't know. I really maybe I'm giving Tennessee too much credit as being such a strong tapping focused team. Um, but I really do feel like they're kind of just picking these maps expecting to just do better because New Hampshire will do worse in their minds.
Mm.
I'm not sure. Kind of feels like they're just toying with their food, for a lack of better terms. Early miss from Zephyr. It's a longer map than what we've seen picked so far, and that won't matter too much, but for the time being, score advantage is favoring
Oh,
Tennessee.
that slider break from what skill? That's so unfortunate. And more breaks coming through from Zephyr here. Not the greatest start. Shade the final FC down for New Hampshire, and maybe I was wrong.
Yeah, yeah, it's not looking too great. Of course, there are now only one FC on the side of Tennessee, and this is the kind of map that is very easy to just find random misses. But yeah, very rough start from the side of New Hampshire, and it's pretty scary. They can't really afford to drop combo anymore, like they had previously. Gotta hope for Coda to fall apart here.
Yeah, it's all eyes on Coda as New Hampshire pulls through with their recovery, just slightly higher than Tennessee's recoveries. Still a big Tennessee lead, and that Zephyr break is definitely going to keep it that way for the time being, so long as Coda continues to hold, but still Shade following up, and that might just be a done deal as the square lead reaches 500k.
Yeah, that most certainly will be the nail in the coffin for this New Hampshire team. Unfortunately, you hate to see it have to go down like this. You're already being a lower seed, not expected to win the round of 32 matchup, but then to have to go and play against a team that was expected to win their round of 32 matchup in that losers bracket is that's tough, and it doesn't really feel great, but you know, it's just kind of the way it goes sometimes. Unfortunately, we will have to say goodbye to New Hampshire. Try as they might, solid scores here and there from various players, just was not enough in the end. And Tennessee does continue on here in this lower bracket. I need to check, see who they are playing against. They are going to be playing against seed number 14 next week, Stateless.
Oh, that'll be
So
good.
Yeah.
That's much more much more closer match than this ended up being, unfortunately. Shout outs to those New Hampshire players, Fishy nailing their first tournament FC. Good luck to them in the future. But Tennessee looking pretty strong in their second showing. Just that very, very rough Georgia low seed matchup in their first round. Georgia probably on pace to do some big things here.
Yeah. Good luck to Tennessee in this future matches potentially for them. And unfortunate for New Hampshire. Hate to see it happen, but it's got to eventually. And yeah, that will be all for us, I believe. We are going to head over to the A stream here, where the match between Puerto Rico and Oklahoma is going on currently. But just want to say thank you so much, Hubba, for commentating these two matches with me, as well as Firm Cheese for the stream and Kay for the ref in this match. Yeah, definitely appreciate all of that. And unless you have anything else to say, we're gonna head over to that A stream.
Yeah, it's gonna be Oklahoma on match point against Puerto Rico here in the A stream. We'll be sending you over, and hopefully it's a little bit of a comeback for Puerto Rico here. See you then.
Yeah, take care, everyone.